But welcome to today's episode. Today we'll be doing the third day. And then it just ends. Well, I'll get this thing. I'll get it eventually. Alright, so let's do this level 50-60 roulette. But first. I want to change my glam for today. Wasting everyone's time. Wasting everyone's time. Let's see. You know what? It's been a while since I actually worn. I'm gonna wear one of these. Which one do I want to wear today? I'm gonna go with this one. Because honestly, it comes with the book that I like. Yeah. Yeah, I am Frosty the Snow Queen. Fear and worship me, you plebe. You gigantic lady. Fear and adore me. Okay, bye. Oh, right. I forgot. Eh. And it's actually probably not that hard to actually edit the video with the fucking... That's what I need to do. Waiting on a 50 and 60 and a 50 and a 60. Do I have enough materia? The answer is no. So let me buy like 5 materials. Gonna buy me some materials. Gonna buy me some materia tools. It's like, oh god, Frosty, stop singing. Oh no. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. What is it? 2, 3, and then we'll buy 2. I think I bought 5. I don't know how to count. A 1, a 2. Oh. That's right, I already had 1. So, we'll have 6. It's fine. It's fine. I know I probably should buy some more material 3s while I'm at it. No, we'll get a couple of 3s. I don't exactly have all the money in the world anymore. We'll buy... Yeah, we'll buy the 1. And then the 3. FC stuff. Good job. Ice Mage's second wife. Oh jeez. Q times, gotta love fucking Q times, doop a doop doop doop, boop a doop doop doop. Yes, I still need to do a treasured mother. I know. I gotta do 3 dungeons unsynced. I know, but I'm gonna do that later when I'm required to do it. And y'all would be here with me when I do it. If anything, probably just... We'll just eat that. There we go. I almost hit abandoned. That would have been bad. I don't know how to entertain you people. Oh, there's actually was something, there was actually something I wanted to talk to y'all about. So I recently read a interview with Yoshi P, and it was, I'm gonna, link it in the description when I post this video. If I remember to, it's gonna, my upload schedule is kind of weird, but, man, it's a really good read. He talks about, like, the whole, Hathgar and Vera. The reason why they're, gender locked was because he felt pressured to do both. A beast-like race and specifically Vera. And so, of course, he goes on and about how tedious it would have been to, because you pretty much have to release 4 races. You have the male, and then you have the female. They're kind of their own race, their own skeleton model. So he talks about how, like, they could only do 2, right? A male and a female. They didn't have time or the resources to add 4. So, how he felt was, since there, a lot of us wanted a beast-like race as much as we wanted Viera. I guess the compromise was, hey, you know, we got Viera. You know, they want Viera. Viera's predominantly female, and then, you know, they want a beast-like race, so we'll just make it male only. Bada bing, bada boom. And I 100% agree with it. I'll do a little jig for you while I just ramble on before queue times. The famous Moogle dance. And yeah, it makes sense. So hopefully people who are mad about not having male Viera or female Hathgar or whatever, like, cause I'm with you on that one too. Cause like, man, I would have really liked to have been a snow leopard. I would have made her shorter than like your average height, obviously, but just this beef cat Amazon lady. I think I would have digged that. I think I would have digged that a lot. But like, I can't argue with them. Or I can't argue with logic. With his logic. Like, alright. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe 6.0, when they have a little bit more time and resources into this, they can say, hey, you know, yeah, let's put in the other 2 genders. also have 2 more races, so... Oh my god, we still got like 10 more minutes! Whee! It goes on to talk about Relic. And this is kind of what made me bring it up, because I know I've publicly, well, loosely have publicly has said, like, yeah, it was a great idea, but please don't do it again. And after reading his interview, I actually started to feel bad, like, maybe I worded things, maybe I poorly worded what I was conveying. And I kind of wanted to clear it up. So what they were saying is that the developers wanted to change up how we got relic weapons. They were kind of done. They were kind of burnt out with the Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward. You do all the light grinding. You do the dungeons and all blah blah. I guess they didn't want to do it like that. And yet here I am, like, don't do it again, Square Enix. And it's just like, well, I'm gonna go more into. I feel like I want to go more into depth with, like, the why, because I get where they're coming from, and I'm not sure if I exactly said this before, but I've said it. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. Eureka on its own is fine. Great even. It's the concept is great. It was executed great. Like, as far as the Square Enix is concerned, as far as the developmental team is concerned, I'm not really sure what they could have done differently. It was different. It's fine. You got in there. You leveled up. You know, it was something to do. Yeah, I've heard complaints like, well, Eureka should have been Eureka, and us grinding for a relic weapon should have been its own separate thing. Like, yeah, I can see that, but because Eureka's pretty cool. You got cool mounts, you got cool emotes. I sunk a lot of time into it. The one thing that just kills it for me, it's not Square Enix's or the developer's fault. It's not Yoshi P's fault. And it's not a cop-out. Like, the one thing that just makes me not want to go in Eureka are the people. It's the people in Eureka. And I'm pretty sure man, now I can't remember. Terrible. And it's always the people. It really is. It's I guess it's kind of hard to explain. You gotta be in there. But, like, I had a FC member just got to level 19, wants to get the Pazuzu feathers. And so a bunch of us were like, oh yeah, you know, we'll come in there, we'll help you spawn Pazuzu. There's like 6 of us, I believe. And a decent half party. Like, we were almost a complete party, and I think at one point we were like 8 people. So we're trying to farm the monsters, but we just couldn't slap it together. Like, maybe it was just the 6 of us, and we had a tank, we had a healer, and it was crazy. I think half of us didn't really farm. Like, I surely didn't. Like, I'm used to like 3-4 parties beating them up. So there was a lot more mechanics that I wasn't used to. And so we just kept dying, and it was terrible. So we kept asking, like, hey, you know, we're almost a full party here, you know, let's You know, let's get some parties together. Let's farm and let's spawn Pazuzu, right? And it was just a handful of people. And honestly, that's all really what it takes. You know, when there's like 200 people in an instance and it's just the same 3 or 4 people making rude comments, and like everyone else is kind of quiet, and it ruins the experience. And again, it's not the developer's fault. You know, what can the developers do? But yeah, it was like we were trying to spawn Pazuzu for, I swear, like 3 hours. Pazuzu could have spawned, I swear, like 4 or 5 times. And we could have had, like, because she drops like 3 feathers. Right? And I think you need like 5 or 6 feathers to get your final weapon. So you need to kill Pazuzu twice. Well, one of the biggest thing was, well, you could, now they've unlocked it to where you can buy Pazuzu feathers, and we were like, because we would occasionally, you know, I think we would, you know, we would go around and do an NM and would kind of come back, because you can't, it's dependent on the weather. So when the weather's not right to pop Pazuzu, we would go and do other NMs. You know, and then they would just argue with us. They're just like, nah, you could do 20 NMs and just buy all the feathers you need and you're bada bing, bada boom, done. And it's just like, or we can spend like 10 minutes. I mean, you spend like 5-10 minutes pumping NMs anyway. Why not come over here, pop this one NM, do it, and then boom, you got 3 feathers. Anyway, and then like, I know one time we straight up died. We all got them murdered, and we spent, I think you only get like 5 minutes. We spent the entire 5 minutes asking for someone to swing by and come res us up. It's like, you know, like if you can res, because I think I was a red mage, so like all you would have to do is come and res one healer who could then res me, and then we can res everyone else. Like you just gotta come and just res one person. And like one person claimed they were on their way, but they never showed up. And then they claimed, like, oh, well, I was on my way, but I died, and I didn't make it in time, sorry. But then he's posting coordinates where the NM train was in shout chat. So he's slash telling one of our party members that they died on the way there, but he's posting coordinates in shout chat. It's like, something don't add up. I mean, let's see. I know most of us de-leveled from that. Now I'm trying. Oh, now I can't really think of any super bad examples. But I feel like a lot of times I'll go in there and be like, hey, you know, I'm down for light farming, or I'm down for let's prep some NMs, and I'll just be in there for like 20-30 minutes constantly spamming the shout chat asking for invites, and just like no invites. So it's like, alright, well, I guess I'm not okay. Alright. There's a few times where I would make parties, and it's like, wow, I just don't like making parties. Don't at me. It's weird, cause like you can get an NM party together. You guys do the NM, and then like everyone leaves, and everyone's AFK in the town. And I'm not arguing for against that. And then it's just like, they leave your party, and everyone's AFK downtown anyway, And then once the NM pops, the same people are asking for party invites. I don't know, it just seems like they just don't care about, like, the rest of the community. That's sad. These people worked the devs worked so hard to make this content for us, and we're just like, lol. I'm just gonna AFK in town. I'm gonna watch some YouTubes. So, no, socialite. Like that's the thing I just don't get. Like, it's the why leave the party if we're all just gonna AFK in town anyway? Because, like, yeah, a lot of times there's really nothing to do. If there's already 2-3 parties prepping something, you know, and you're like, oh man, I really want to help prep parties. You get over there and then they're just one-shotting everything, and you can't really get a cast out or an instant cast out, and you're just like, well, there's too many people doing stuff, I can't contribute. So you just end up AFKing in town. So it's not like, you know, so like a lot of people will be like, oh, you filthy AFKers, and it's like, well, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, ah, you know, I just want to be lazy, I'll AFK in town. Other times it's just like, nah, there's like, I can't light farm, all the parties are full. I can't help prep NMs because all the parties are full. Like, they're like I said earlier, they're one-shotting everything. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do but wait in the town for an NM to spawn? Because, like, no one's gonna invite me to a party to do anything unless there's an NM. Oh, saved by the fucking bell! Let's get this bread! Oh my god, I talked on for like 18 minutes! Oh, my jaw. But, I was winding down to my point though, like, I think it will always come, for me, it always comes down to the people. It's not communist propaganda, but the power is within the people. And I feel so sorry for the devs for a lot of time. They try to do new things like Blue Mage. Oh my god, they got so much. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Anyway, they spent, like, so much work on Blue Mage and making it for what I feel is pretty accurate to 11. I didn't play 11. I don't really care about 11, but from what I've heard, it's true to 11. Like, if you liked Blue Mage in 14 or not 14, if you liked Blue Mage in FF4 and 11. Then you will like Blue Mage in 14. Right? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, yeah, okay. But they got so much crap. Oh, well, we can't do duty roulette. We can't we can't do duty finder with it. We can't do Palace of the Dead with it or Heaven on High. We can't raid with it. And so, like, people freaked out, and I'm just like, y'all are just never fucking happy, are you? Like, oh my god, it's like, I'm so sorry. If Yoshi P or any of the developers ends up watching one of my videos, I hope you find this small clip of it for me apologizing. Like, I really am. Like, yeah, there's some nitpicks that I can do and some things I don't like. But at least, for the most part, I can understand where y'all are coming from, and I can respect your choices. It's the people. It's this community. I don't know what it is. And I hope maybe it's all, because I feel like it's all of the WoW players coming over, and they have that WoW mentality of, like, they're more elitism, and it's like, go away. 14 is supposed to be, like, from my understanding, 14 is supposed to be for more casual players. Like, yeah, there's some high-end stuff to kind of keep us occupied, which is great. But I feel like there's just a lot of WoW players over here, or, I don't know. I don't know, really a lot of MMOs. Yes, 11. It's like there's just a good portion of 11 and WoW over here, and it's just like, please go away. These developers are working so hard, and y'all are just shitting on everything because you have this. To me, I think it boils down to this false sense of entitlement. Like with everyone's like, well, not everyone, but people are freaking out about how like Dancer should have been a healer. And at first I'm just like, I don't know Dancer. I don't know. Like again, I've only played 14 and 15. And I played a little bit of 3, I think it was 3. It's like 3 or 4. They had the ones with the Vikings. I think that's 3. So but majority is like I've only played 14 and 15. That's it. I don't know Dancer. I don't know Bloom Agent, Puppet Master, Beast Master, whatever. Puppeteer, I think it was actually called that. But it's like I get it. And Yoshi P talks about it in this interview why they didn't do a healer, and I'll talk about it when I get done. Let's put a pin in that, and I'll talk about why later. But it seems like the more I understand Dancer, because I did watch him. I did watch a video about Dancer in terms of, I think it was 11. Shout out to Mr. Happy. Everyone probably knows that he's the one who posted the video. So just I don't know. Anyway, so a lot of the information that I don't think I watched the entire video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me. So I don't know the complete in-depth of Dancer in terms of 11. But from the general gist of it, they had one song. Or they had, well, 2 songs. Well, 2 dances, actually. I'm barred brain. So, they had 2 dances. One was, I think, a single heal, and then one was an AoE heal. You're like, okay, yeah. 1s tend to be single target, 2s tend to be AoEs. Except for, like, Summoner. No, I think Black Mage's Thunder's like that. Medica 2 on White Mage's like that. So it's like, yeah. So 2's either an instant or no cast version of 1, kind of like Ruin 2. Or it's something like just a better ability, like Ruin 3 to Ruin 1. Like, it's an upgrade. I think like Stone 2, Stone 4, Stone 2. Yeah. But yeah, when you actually look at it, it doesn't really make sense as a healer. And then, that's kind of what I mean. Like, it's these people are, they feel like they're so entitled. Like, oh, you gave us 2 DPSs and you're gonna give us another tank, so give us a healer. So yeah, that makes sense, but they don't have to add another healer. And I understand, like, where healers are coming from. Their last healer was Astro from Heaven's Word, and that's already been 4 years now. So because they played it through Heaven's Word and then they played it through Stormblood, so that's roughly 4 or 5 years of the same 3 healers. It's kind of like how an FC member stated, since I'm a caster main, imagine if imagine if there was no Red Mage in Stormblood, and we would have had the same 2 casters this entire time. Yeah, I'd be a little upset. Like, as much as I like Black Mage and Summoner, Red Mage is a great addition. I like Red Mage. I often think of myself as a Red Mage main. Like, oh, I want to do so and so. I want to do such and such with so and so, but they're a summoner, and we don't want dupes. So, well, all right, I'll switch to Red Mage. I don't care. Hold on, let me look at my party. Meh. Do we not have the key? I thought we grabbed the key. Yeah. Yeah, we grabbed it. I don't. What are y'all? Where's the key? Like, grab it. Anyway. I don't know. But I mean, like, imagine being a bard. Right? So imagine if you're like, man, I really like bard, but I want to do more DPS. Well, there's machinist. Now, at the time of this recording, machinist is a hot mess. They know it, and they're gonna fix it. So in the future, machinist is gonna be a completely whole different class. So in that regard, it does feel a little weird to me that, well, if machinist is basically gonna be a new class anyway, why add dancers of physical ranged? Personally, and I've talked with this about with other FC members. I need to get some of them in here. Yeah, I wanna see if we can do a think tank. That would be some interesting content. So what we were saying is maybe they're thinking about doing with the physical ranged as they did with casters. So for you who don't really know I think I said it's the paradigm of. So the paradigm of the casters is you have Red Mage. They're the most mobile dual cast OP. They got, I don't know, Embolden's probably better. Party-wide buff. They have res. They have a decent heal. Like, for progging, Red Mage is a really good class. It's a good... It's not like... It's not Bard in terms of utility. But for a caster, there's a lot of utility. You know what I mean? Rip Shadow Flare. It's okay. So we're thinking that Bard and Red Mage is on par with each other. Quote unquote, like, technically you do the least amount of damage, but you have more versatility, more fertility, and flexibility, right? Okay, alright. So then you have Summoner. I'm gonna skip Summoner for a second. Okay? Because it makes more sense if I talk about Black Mage first. Now, Black Mage is kind of the opposite of Red Mage. Black Mage has a very high DPS, doesn't really have Raid Ride buffs. So they don't have Embolden, they don't have Aether Pact, they're basically just a greedy DPS. But boy can they DPS. Really can't move all that much, to be honest. You got ley lines. Yeah, you have certain abilities that kind of help you move. Ethereal manipulation. You can just whoosh to someone else in your party. You have Between the Lines, which whooshes you back to your ley lines. You have triple cast, so that you can your next 3 casts are instants, which is really nice. I had when I was a Red Mage main. No, I think I was Black Mage main at the time. I was arguing that triple cast was better than dual cast, and the Red Mage main at the time was like, when you play Red Mage, you'll see that dual cast is better than triple cast. And yeah, dual cast is pretty nice. So anyway, so you have your 2 extremes, right? You have a Red Mage that's very flexible. Man, can you res people, throw your DPS cast, dual cast a res, and just go back and forth. You can heal yourself and then res someone else, and then heal them and then res someone else. Like, oh man, in a pinch, Red Mage is great. Black Mage is great because it's got your strong DPS. I think technically they're the highest DPS class in the game, besides Samurai. I am not a melee main, don't listen to me on melee, so of course I'm going to be biased towards casters. Now, here's where Summoner comes in play, and why I really like Summoner, why I find it comfy. So, of the 3, I think Summoner's the only one that really has a... No, honestly, none of them really have rotations. Black Mage kind of just does fire until you need mana, and then you just keep your thunder up. Red Mage just goes back and forth between white mana and black mana, and then melee. Really, your melee combo for your Verholy Verflare is really the only rotation you have. And then Summoner's kind of a combination of both. You have cycles like Black Mage, so I'll cycle between Dreadworm Trance and Aether Flow. And then of course the Bahamut. But I also kind of have a set rotation when it comes to like Ruin. So I have my dots up. Ruin 3, Ruin 2, Fester, Ruin 3, 2, then Fester. Like, Dreadworm pretty much doesn't really have a rotation, you just spam Ruin 3. But then it's that Bahamut at the very end. It's an easy rotation, but a rotation nonetheless. To get all your Worm Waves and whatnots. There is certain things you have to do. Depending on your spell speed. Hooray! And that's why I kind of like it. Like, for me, Black Mage is rigid. Every cast you make has to be timed perfectly so that you can keep your Nokian up, you can do your foul, keep your dots up, because you want to optimize how many Fire 4s you do before you run out of mana. And then so if you're off by 1 Fire 4, that means you'll drop anyway. You'll drop your Enochian mid cast, and that's not good. And you could be wrong in your timing. Just anywhere. Like I said, if you do one too many Fire 4s, it could drop, your Nokian could drop mid Fire 4 cast. Or you could do Fire 4 and go to do Blizzard to get more mana, and then it's like, oh, oops, yeah. Anyway, I'm probably going a little too in depth with the actual jobs. My point is that you have an easier class with lower damage, but it makes up in about support. Alright, red mages help tremendously by rezzing people. Bards help a lot with their constant buffs. Yeah. Now the problem with the Bard and Machinist is in this weird place. Like, it's almost like a summoner, where it's like it does a little bit more damage, but it doesn't, like, I don't know. I feel like it's trying to do both, but because it does, I mean, it still has refresh, it still has. I always did it. I don't know. I feel like, but anyway, I feel like that's what they're trying to do. So hopefully, the way they make it sound with Dancer, with it's a DPS with buffs, what it makes it sound like is they're gonna give it some buffs. Like how Summoner has buffs. I got Aether Pact. I have well, besides mana, I have Mana Shift, but that's rolls. Gosh darn it, there is another one. Oh, I'm thinking of Radiant Shield. So my pet has a raid-wide buff. So right now I have Radiant Shield. Garuda does Contagion. Contagion buffs magic attack. Radiant Shield, as you can see, generates a barrier around the party. So that's physical vulnerability by 2%. Alright, cool. And then of course I got Aether Pact. Devotion basically lowers the damage you take and increases your overall DPS. Hurrah. And I think it let me look real quick, so I'm not like misgiving information. Let me look real quick so I'm not giving anyone misinformation. think it was, yeah, devotion. Increases damage dealt and reduces damage taken by all party members by 2%. Yeah. Also increases healing magic potency of all party members by 5%. So that's a really good ability that honestly I cast every 2 minutes. Probably not as good as, and I think it's better than Embolden. But I like it. It's a cool ability nonetheless. I really don't think Black Mage has any. But that kind of proves my point though, like, Black Mage doesn't have any. Summoner has 2. Bard or not Bard. Red Mage has what? Probably should just switch to Red Mage real quick. So I kind of feel like that's what they're gonna do with not casters. The physical ranged is they could do machinist more straight DPS, because I don't know if they, other than like refresh from their role selection, based on their abilities, I don't think they have any support roles. They're not. You don't play it as a support class like a Red Mage or an Astro or a Bard. You don't play it like one of those classes. But because it's regarded as a support class, it doesn't have the high DPS. And I feel like as much work and energy you have to put. Oh my god, that looks like me when I was here. Anyway, you put a lot of work and effort in optimizing Red Mage. Not Red Mage. Machinist. Oof. Oof. Yeah, you put so much work and effort in maining a machinist and optimizing machinist, and it's like you get a little, like, I don't know, it depends. Like, from what I've seen, it seems like maybe 100 DPS more. Like, to me, that doesn't really seem worth. I think if they just potency increased machinist and said, you know what, yeah, machinist will have regen, like a mana regen or refresh, because it's a physical ranged. I mean, Black Mage has mana shift. Other than that, like, you know, I think, yeah, Machinist probably won't DPS as much as a Black Mage or Samurai, but I really think they should be the physical ranged version of Black Mage and Samurai. I think those 3 classes, like, you got a magical caster, high DPS. You got a melee high DPS class. Give us something like that for physical ranged. So that's your triad. That's, oh, what's you know, like when a new player's like, what's the highest DPS class? You can easily go, well, Black Mage, Samurai, Machinist. Boom, boom, boom. Well, do you want to be a caster? So you have the ability to go Red Mage for progging, or Summoner for general purpose, right? Do you want to go Samurai, so of course you're melee? Or do you want to be a physical ranged with the option of, like, switching to Bard? No, you know. I kind of can see where it's like, well, what would, other than, oh, one's magic, one's physical, what's the difference between, like, a black mage and a machinist? If they had on par, like, if their DPS was close to each other, I mean... Well, I mean... I don't know, I'll think about it while I'm looking for this map. Don't want to waste more people's time though. Oh, we're already at 50 minutes. Whew. Man, this is gonna take me a minute. I mean, that's clearly a bridge. So I'm trying to think where was a bridge? Other than there, but that clearly is not it. I'm actually trying to think of, oh, is that it? Wait, that has to be it. Like, this curve matches, this is a circle with a smear, that's a circle with a smear. And that curve's the same. You have this triangle formation, which kind of looks like this triangular formation. And then you got the bridge, But you clearly see this is land, right? When there's no land. I don't know. Let's just go there and see. Because I'm pretty sure it's right here. Maybe more up. I'm gonna say right there. Oh, you know what? I think I figured it out. I guess once I move my mouse, I can't do it. But if I have... Why did my mouse move? But once I have this... Okay. Then I can... Okay, I see. Okay, I think okay, now that that's worked out. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm trying to, like, see the good in their decision. Because I don't know. I know I spent a long time saying, like, we need a third physical ranged, you know? But now that I'm actually thinking about it, it's just like... but why? Because, no, hear me out. Summoner and Black Mage was a really good duo. You had two casters. One was more mobile than the other. One had I will say, an easier rotation, or less rigid, less punishing rotation. But you did less DPS than the other. Like, alright, fair enough, right? But then comes Red Mage. And what Red Mage did was expressed the advantage. So Red Mage exacerbates the advantages Summoner has over Red Mage, or Black Mage. So now Summoner is in this hybrid scenario where, like, it's more stationary but does higher DPS to a Red Mage, but is more mobile and flexible and, you know, less DPS than a Black Mage. And maybe they're gonna do... So that made sense, because Summoner did have drawbacks. Like, you can only swift cast and resurrect one person, just like any other, you know, healer. So having a caster class that could dual cast a res, and then immediately dual cast 2 or 3 reses in a row, oh, that's nice. That makes Red Mage more unique. So, when you look at Bard and Machinist, I feel like Bard and Machinist has a more Red Mage Summoner aesthetic. Yeah, Machinist has a clunkier rotation, as you could argue Summoner has a more clunky rotation to Red Mage, but you DPS a little bit more. You know? If that extra DPS is worth the harder rotation, hooray. If you don't think it's justified, hooray. So, to me, I feel like they have a great opportunity to make Dancer strictly a DPS class, like Black Mage. Because I don't really see them making a class that's more buffy. You know what I mean? Like, we're never going to have a purely support class. That's impractical. All the DPS classes have to be able to... every class has to DPS on their own to get through MSQs and content. Where is Dig? Is it even... No. Oh, General's Dig. There it is. It's wasting everybody's time. So, they can make... Technically, they could lower the DPS of Bard, like lower the potencies, and then just increase the potency of their buffs. Like, instead of 2% crit buff, you get 3% crit buff. Etc, etc. Other than that, you can't get more supportive than a Bard. Bard can, like I said, Bard can be more supportive with potency and increases and decreases, but you can't just... I don't think you can make a class... I think it would be really hard to make a class that's more supportive than a Bard. Unless it would have to be like a straight support class with no DPS and has all the buffs. I have an MP regen, health regen, I got crit buffs, I got direct hit rate buffs, I got skill speed. Excuse me. I got spell speed and skill speed buffs. Like Astro and Bard had a beautiful baby that can't heal or DPS. It's like all the Bard songs and all the Astro cards in one class. Like, nah, let's be honest. So, but the way they describe Dancer, and a lot of people are worried it's just going to be another Bard. You just throw things instead of archery. Which is understandable. But I personally think Dancer is going to be what Machinist should have been. You have a little higher DPS, but you have less buffs than a bard. And then I think what they're gonna do with machinist, hopefully they will make machinist just a pure DPS class. Because I mean, let's be honest, you're shooting a gun. This is a gun class with a robot. Like, how is it not pure DPS? Like, like, you're really telling me that throwing daggers does more damage than muskets? Like, I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't seem right. Like, I don't want to go into, like, gun politics or anything, but it's a gun. Even if it's like a early flintlock musket, and they are. They're the early flintlock muskets. I don't know on the top of my head how powerful they are. Probably should look into that, but not important. Ooh, don't fail. But I know they have to be more powerful than someone throwing knives at you. And I'm pretty sure they were more powerful than a lot of bows of the time. I think, historically speaking, right? I think you had longbows, you know, like 100-pound behemoths of these bows. I think those are more powerful than your early day muskets or your handguns. Guns. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, your handguns. I'm pretty sure handguns were just more power. Hence why we used firearms to defend ourselves and wage war with each other, and not bows and throwing daggers. But anyway. Ooh, one more. I think that's my last one, right? Yeah. Although I'm honestly surprised with throwing daggers, like, or throwing weapons, like, that's like, to me it's like, oh, yeah, duh. 'Cause I joked, like I said, I joked that, ooh, I actually did get the Gilgamesh one. Nice. That's a little, bonus for you guys. I got an achievement. Ooh, obtained 90 unique triple deck cards. Nice. Oh, and that gave me the Midsommar one? Oh, nice. What was I saying? No, cause a lot of people were like, well, Frosty, if they did add a third one, what's their weapon gonna be like? And I was like, well, one's a gun, one's a bow. Obviously, it's gonna be a crossbow. Duh. And, like, I seriously thought it, like, yeah, why can't we have crossbows? Why don't we have crossbows? We have bows, we have handguns, like, put two together. That's what a crossbow does, right? That's what a crossbow is, right? It's anyway. No, we got throw daggers, which is cool. I would not have guessed it. Who's in my yard? Oh. Samurai. I like Samurai. Samurai's a cool class. I think that about wraps it up for today. No, I guess in the next episode I'll go more in depth on why we don't actually have another healer. I ran it too long about... I ran it too long. So maybe when I do maybe I'll do some dog farming. I'll I'll talk about it. So, thank you for watching this far. It's only an hour, 5 minutes. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.